Come on in the room. Hey, everybody. Come one, come all. As I say, come big, come small. Y'all see my crazy hair and me covering these bad braids with this hat, girl? Come on in the room. Come on in. Sorry I'm late, best friends. I normally try to call you guys somewhere between 9 o'clock and 9:15, and I'm well after the fact. So come on in the room. Come on in. For those of you guys who have no idea who I am or where you found yourself, I am Candy Sincerity Johnson. My partner in business, my co-host, Miss Shawn Johnson, is going to be joining us momentarily. If you guys are on this page, chances are this is not your first time here. You probably already know who we are. You already know what we do. And so not only do we share our journey and our lives and all the ups and downs that comes with that, girl, we give commentary on what's going on online. So, girl, let me bring Shawn up. And we're going to have some good old-fashioned girl talk, girl. Hey, Myrtle.
Hey, hold on one second, best friend, because I just realized I need to wipe off my.
Okay. Girl, I thought she said, hold on. I thought she said, hold on, I need to wipe my camera. And girl, she exited stage left. She exited stage left. She gonna have to send me another request, girl. She messed around and hit the wrong button. Hey to all the best friends that's coming in. Hey everybody. Let me bring Shawn back up. Hold on, y'all. Uh-oh. Shawn said couldn't do it. So let me see if I can do it a different way. Shawn, you're gonna have to send me another request. It wouldn't let me bring you up that way. So send me another request, Shawn. Y'all know technology be technology, and so we're gonna try this again. I know I just had to do an update on my phone. I'm not sure if you have to do an update. You were fine a moment ago. Your camera was just a little fuzzy, but try to send me another request if you're still here. Shawn might have to do what I had to do. I had to power my phone off and then come back on. So, but anyway, best friends, listen, we took a little bit of a break for about a day or so. And in the midst of us taking a break for about a day or so, the internet went crazy. And I put up a post on the page earlier and I said, girl, what is going on? And as I said, what's going on, everybody was sending me all these different directions. One place led me somewhere else, and girl, I ended up down a rabbit hole. I ended up on like 5 people pages, and girl, Shawn and I said, girl, let's talk about it.
Okay, so hopefully, hopefully it's gonna be okay. Cause girl, I've got this real Jimmy rigged, and I don't know how this is gonna work out. I might have to just completely go to a different space, but we're gonna try it.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, best friend.
So I told the best friends, I said, look, I put the post up early. I said, girl, what's going on? And people started sending us all kind of different ways, and I ended up down a rabbit hole on my way to go get the kids. Did you end up down a rabbit hole?
So I did, but instead of jumping down multiple rabbit holes, hold on one second, best friends, I'm trying to get my angle just right. Instead of jumping down multiple rabbit holes, I just stayed in one rabbit hole. Because I was like, let me just work from the horse's mouth rather than everybody else, and then I can go back to everybody else later. So I just stayed down one rabbit hole.
I like that. I like that strategy. So for the people who have been under a rock and they don't know what's going on or what we're referring to, did you want to give a little bit of context?
Yes. So, best friends, I have a plethora of notes just to give you guys an idea, because you guys know when we do commentary, I'm responsible for all the information. So just to give you guys an idea of my note taking skills. Like when I come to y'all, I don't come to y'all with just hearsay. Okay. I take copious notes.
Copious notes.
Okay. So just to give you a little bit of context, I'll do high level, and then as we're talking, I can interweave some of the notes in the conversation. I think that's better doing it that way. Okay. Now, just to give you a high level overview, for those that know who Darius Cooks is, he is a internet based, that's not his life, he's just internet based cook. He has owned restaurants. He has done a dinner where he has traveled all over the U.S. He has a line of kitchen utensils, cookbooks, just all types of things. Okay, this man is a seven-figure earner. Like he is who he is and who he says he is. Okay, so one of the most recent projects that he decided to do was a thing called the Kitchen Comeback. His goal of this whole thing was to help a existing restaurant owner who was having difficulty because he had been doing restaurant reviews and he only focused on African American owned restaurants. He went to this one restaurant. He gave an honest review like he always does. I'm sorry, best friend, this piece of hair is aggravating me. He gave an honest review like he always does. He was like, the food is subpar. It's not good. Okay. He gave his commentary like he always does, and that was that. The owner of the restaurant reached out to him and was like, hey, I saw your review. I need help. Okay. I'm sinking. I'm going under. I need help. Reached out to him to ask him for help. Now, typically, y'all know he's a solo act. He don't really do a whole lot of collaborative things. He likes to just do his own thing and be by himself. But he made the effort and decided to assist this restaurant owner. Decided to do this weekend thing, call it the Kitchen Comeback. His just out of his own words, his goal was to go to this restaurant, bring a lot of his recipes, show her and her staff how to cook these recipes, revitalize the restaurant, bring some more attention to the restaurant, give her some more exposure and all of the things. Okay, so that was what it was supposed to be this weekend. As he gets there, he's live. He likes receipts. Okay, what Darius believes in is CYA at all times. Okay, he will CYA over everything. If he said he going to the store, yes, ma'am.
Somebody don't know what that means.
Somebody don't know what CYA is. Girl, what CYA mean? CYA means cover your ass. Okay. He does that effortlessly. I don't care if he said he was finna run to the store to pick something up. He's gonna have some type of receipts, whether it's the receipt from the store, going live, showing you the products, all of the things. Okay. So as he starts the Kitchen Comeback, he's live.
My situation is a struggle. I'm sorry.
That's okay. He goes live to show. He's been live about this since he decided to do it. Leading up to the event, during prep for the event, at the event, while he's cooking and directing the kitchen, the whole 9 yards. Today, it goes completely left. Okay? He had been overcoming and dealing with obstacles since day one. From issues with refrigeration, not having the staff that he was promised, issues with the equipment, all types of things. But he has been trudging forward to get it done because he wants to be a man of his word.
Right.
He just kept getting hit with blow after blow after blow. The restaurant owner wasn't showing up like he needed her to show up, all of these things. And so today, he was fed up. Today, the refrigeration had went out overnight. They lost all of this food. And he was still being asked for more, financially, time-wise, just more. And he was like, I'm done. He canceled it. He said, I'm done. He walked off. Said, I'm done. I've reached my capacity. I'm done.
Wow. Before we go further, what are the best friends saying in the comments? I want to make sure this is one of those videos where we're gonna give high level what we know to be true based on the facts of what was reported. We're gonna also make sure we read comments as much as possible and then give commentary in the midst of it.
Facts. Best friend Amanda said, I could barely dry my hair for church. The tea was so hot.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wow.
Tammy said, I love that word, copious. Oh, yeah, honey, copious. Cheryl said, Cheryl said, hey, Candy and Sean, the best friends. I beat y'all about Darius because I've been watching the events. Shireen said, I watched his lives all 3 days. It was wild. But Lynn said, I'm just not that vested or interested in what is going on in the internet, just trying to keep myself together, especially Darius Cooks, of whom I unfollowed some time ago. Well, that's fine, best friend. If this ain't the conversation with you, boo-boo, we'll see you on the next one. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Let's see. Tia said, same. I also watched Jeremy and Corey's live, too. See, I ain't had time to get there. But, yeah. Let's see. Sandra said he should have let her sink. She was a snake. Let's see. Coco said, yes, I've been looking at his lives like, wow.
Yeah.
Shereen said, and his live was unfiltered at times. The owner's daughter argued with him last night. Sandra said he was so frustrated that he broke out in tears. That was part of my notes. Yes, I saw that. That hurt my feelings. Let's see. Tia said, I think he would have probably stuck it out if it wasn't for the meeting with the servers and the comment that was made that the front of the house would have been okay, even if the host was Darius, if the host that was Darius's friend wasn't brought in. Yeah, that was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the straw, honey. He said, you know what? I'm gone. He said, before I say something that I'm going to regret, I'm leaving.
I'm leaving. Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to probably give some commentary. I'm not sure. Not right now. Did you have more to add? Because I know you have a lot of notes about what happened.
Oh, I have plenty to add. I have plenty of notes. Okay. I have some thoughts of my own. All of that. I can just start from what I have and just go down, and you just stop me at any point that you want to give some commentary, and we'll keep bouncing in between comments and all of that.
Okay.
So one of the things that I commended him for is sticking this whole thing out from the day one, sticking it out. He could have easily been like, you know what? He could have came the day of when he was getting ready to prep, knowing that they didn't even have proper refrigeration, and been like, you know what? But he's like, no, I'm a man of my words. I'm going to stick it out. We're going to make this thing work. Even this morning when he got there, his specific words was he can't abandon ship. They're going to figure it out. Even if they got to modify the menu, they're going to make it work. I said, baby, listen, the patience. So he was planning to continue once he surveyed the damage, once he figured out what was still salvageable, what was okay, et cetera, et cetera. Some of the things that was crazy to me was the fact that I think that was yesterday. Was that Friday or yesterday? One of the days I remember the internet going out because he had some type of system where he was calling the orders, getting the food together, and then the Wi-Fi just went out. Mm-hmm. The reason why I bring that up is because it spoke to the level of despair that this restaurant owner was in. The Wi-Fi didn't blip out. Like, I'm at home, my Wi-Fi is crazy because, you know, my granny ain't into that. It's like low-level internet. So sometimes my internet just goes out because it's crap, right? Mm-hmm. No, it didn't go out because it's crap. It went out because the bill wasn't paid. So then the bill had to be paid to bring the Wi-Fi back on. It also speaks to the fact that when,
Who said that?
Darius said that. I don't know how he found out, but yeah, he was like, no, yeah, that's why. Then on top of that, when he was trying to purchase the liquor, the reason why they started late on Friday was because the wine and stuff that they were needing to get, he couldn't get it right away because there was a balance owed. Not his balance. It was a balance from the restaurant owner. So he had to make sure that was cleared up before he could even get the liquor and the stuff that he needed for the event. Then the power kept going out. Like it was so much that spoke to the reason why this person is having the issues that they're having in their restaurant. And I'm not trying to say that people don't run up against difficulty, people don't run up against challenges, because that would be an absolute lie. We tell y'all all the time we're rebuilding. We get it. If you're for help, you have to be able to receive the help. And then you can't come in and try to manipulate the situation or do all of these things if you're asking for help and you're not even really open to the help.
See, let me stop you right there. This is where I'll probably get started. So buckle up, Buttercup. You're in for a ride. Okay? Audacity, best friend, is one hell of a drug. When my hair looking crazy and this hat from Wish hanging on one side of my head and not covering the other side of my head, I'm saying it with a straight face. Audacity, best friends, is one hell of a drug. Candy, what are you talking about? What do you mean? The audacity of somebody to pretty much beg for help. Everybody's being kind online. This lady pretty much groveled and begged for help. He didn't ask you for your help.
Right.
You asked him for his help, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to ask for help and get resources and for somebody to show up and honor their commitment to you, and then you not to be transparent and disclose all of what you were dealing with and put them in a compromising position where they agree to show up and help you. They're putting their name on the line, their reputation on the line, their everything on the line that they've worked hard for. That's why I said audacity is a hell of a drug. And you don't see this kind of thing going on nowhere but inside of our community. We're the only people who would do something like that to each other. But here's what life has taught me. You can't partner with, and he said God led him to do that. God told him to do that, and I believe that. But you can't partner with somebody who don't have just as much to lose as you do, because you're going to come out on the losing end of the stick every single time. You understand what I'm saying? This lady didn't have enough skin in the game. She didn't have enough skin at the time. This wasn't a partner. A partnership is to meet somebody who, y'all coming together, they got something to benefit, you got something to benefit, and on paper that's what it seemed like was the case, but in reality that wasn't. She was going to come out ahead. Yeah. Even with the bogus deal where they originally was talking 60-40, and she was the one who said, no, I'll take 20-something thousand. She was still, although she shot her own self in the foot, she was still coming out ahead. Because, baby, according to your own record, you don't net that on a weekend. You don't net that on a weekend, sis. So even according to her own record, she would have still came out ahead. But see, this is the thing. And it almost sends chills up my back. Because a lot of people, see, Darius is a controversial person when it comes to these social media streets. There's two people. Either there's the person who loves him, like we do, or there's the people who don't like him. There's very few people who fall in between, and that's fine, right? But one of the things that I love about him is he's a man of his word. When he say he's gonna do it, he do it. If he don't do it, and he can't do it, or he's not interested in doing it, he don't even lead you to believe that he will. You understand what I'm saying? And so I've watched him because I followed his journey for so long. I remember when he was shipping books from his living room before he even started shipping them in the garage. So I've watched him tell his story online about being raised by his grandmother, being from the west side of Chicago. Nobody gave this man anything. Everything he got, he built on his own. So for him to then be a 7, probably close to 8-figure earner, and then come in and help you with your struggling restaurant, bring thousands of people and eyeballs to your struggling restaurant, and for you to then take advantage, it says a lot. But don't nobody do that but people in our community. Mm-hmm. That's a mindset. That's a mindset. And this no wonder why you sitting where you sitting and you can't put your one foot in front of the other. It's a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
That's a get over mentality. They said this lady had stuff that she was selling in the place. She was grabbing cash from people. That wasn't part of the agreement. All kinds of stuff. It's a mindset. It's a get over mindset. It's a quick grab of money mindset. That's a poverty mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Let me know when you're done, because I want to add to that.
And with all that being said, this was all by design, right? What do I mean by this is all by design? And this is the visionary in me. I almost have chills running down my back. And I don't know, because Darius, you, me, and Darius, we cool. You know what I'm saying? We cool. So he knew about us. We know about him. We've interviewed him before on the platform. He knows who we are. And I don't know if he'll ever see this video, but if he don't hear nothing else I say, stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. I see God's hand covering your life. I see where things are going. I see people trying to stand in your way. Stay encouraged. Keep documenting the process, because just like everybody was trying to tear him down before, and they was calling him a scammer and talking about he was doxing people and the news was showing up at his door, they thought that was going to be his downfall. And he came back better than ever. There's no wonder why all of this is going on days after he signed for property over in another country to start opening another restaurant. I see the vision. And so maybe it is true. Maybe God did tell him to do this. And it had nothing to do with blessing her and everything to do with testing him. Because the door that you just got through walking out, it pales in comparison to what God is going to do for him in another country. People always, we see it all the time, best friends. Anytime you see somebody going through a storm, you better sit back. A lot of people sitting back with popcorn because they want to be entertained. You better sit back and you better watch how he comes out of this thing. He's being tested.
Mm-hmm.
He's being tested.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've said it on this platform over and over again. You know, we don't keep seeing these narratives play out on social media. The Karma stuff months ago, the stuff with Darius before, the stuff with Darius now, the stuff with us. You don't keep seeing these storylines play out on social media just for your entertainment and enjoyment. There's a lesson to be extracted in all of this. There's always a lesson and a blessing to be extracted in all of this. You don't have to be the one going through the storm to get the lesson. Sometimes just your ability to have a front row seat of what's going on will give you the tools and the resources that you need should something come in your life similar to be able to navigate and move different. Eyes have not seen and ears have not heard what's coming in Darius's life. If you don't believe me, baby, just watch. I can see it as clear as day. Y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna know. You're gonna know. You're gonna know. You're gonna know. You're gonna know. When God's hand is on somebody, it's almost like an unspoken language in the spiritual realm. Game, recognize game. Game, recognize game. That man is covered. The ancestors, his grandmother that left, is covering him. It ain't a hater in this world that can stop what God is doing over that man's life. Y'all better be careful who you put your mouth on and who y'all speaking against. I feel bad for that lady. We could say a whole lot of stuff about that lady. I feel bad for that lady.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for that lady. She had an opportunity and squandered it in front of thousands and thousands of people. I have not looked at her page.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what her day looked like. But even if she sold a chicken wing or a grilled cheese sandwich today, sis, it's evident you don't know anything about business. It's evident that you don't know your numbers. You got mad and you got jealous. You allow people to get in your ear, and your own personal emotions got the best of you. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
No, that's okay.
I had to do it. I had to do it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So I'm gonna just say this little quick thing, and I want to get to some of these comments because your comments is commenting. And so, best friends, I apologize in advance that I may not be able to get to all comments, but I'm gonna try to get to as many as I can because y'all are saying a lot, and I want to recognize that. But I wanted to add to the point where Candy was saying how it's a mindset, it's a poverty mindset. Yeah. That's the first thing that jumped out to me when he was offering her a 60-40 split on top of, I believe, if I'm not wrong, on top of paying her for the rental of the restaurant, okay?
No, I think it was
supposed to be 60-40? Yeah. Okay, so one or the other. Okay, there you go. Okay. So he was originally saying, I'm going to do a 60-40 split with you, meaning whatever comes in over those 3 days, you're going to get 40%, I'm going to get 60%, because at the end of the day, I have more skin in the game than you do, okay? You're providing me the space and the staff in the front of the house. I'm providing the food. I'm providing the back of the house people. I'm going to be running the kitchen. I'm going to be making sure that all the food gets out, everything is prepared correctly, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She said, no, let's not do 60-40 because we have all this risk to consider, da, 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 da. Why don't you just pay me a flat amount for renting of the space? Lady, are you kidding me? Let's just say, for sheer numbers, if $100,000 came in that restaurant over the weekend, you would have made $40,000. But the mindset of, let me just get a quick dollar, what probably happened, and I don't know this lady from nothing. I ain't never talked to her, never spoke to her. I barely know what the lady looked like outside of the flyer, okay? What probably happened was she was like, I owe them this money. I owe these people this money. I owe this money. I know this. I owe this. Let me add this up. Let me maybe tack on a little extra. Give me that. For a quick solution. That's all that is. That is a mindset. Let me be real with y'all, best friends. I had that same mindset. Coming from the south side of Chicago, in my childhood, when my mom's lights was cut off, gas was cut off, and I left at 16 years old, all I could think about in my mind was make enough money to make sure my bills are paid and that nothing is past due. I didn't have any sense of vision. I didn't have any sense of planning. All I knew was survival, and that's all I wanted. That made me comfortable. That is a mindset that's not going to ever get you ahead. You so thirsty to try to clear up whatever bill collectors are on your back that you couldn't see the amount of money that you could have made and taking the time to get with him to say, hey, teach me how to do this. Teach me how to do that. What suggestions do you have to do this so that moving forward, when you leave here on Sunday, I can put all of these things in practice so that not only the money that I make over this weekend, I can now turn my restaurant around and start making more than just $10,000 over a weekend. Where is your big picture vision, sis? You can't be no entrepreneur. You can't be no entrepreneur or no business owner or no leader and not have no sense of vision. And if you don't have no sense of vision, get somebody next to you and connected to you that does so they can guide your steps. So you were so thirsty.
For 11 years, she know what she's doing.
You were so thirsty to get this $24,000 to probably clear up these bills. So now when you go to bed tonight and all that money is gone, what you gonna do when you wake up tomorrow? You probably in a worse position than you was before he came. Let's read some comments,
So
shall we?
let me say, while you're bringing up the comments, let me say this. I said it before. I mean, I quoted it. The Bible says, "Our people perish for lack of knowledge." See, the thing about business, I tell y'all all the time, business is warfare. Business is warfare. When you entering into partnership with somebody, or you ask somebody to partner with you, it is not their responsibility to educate you on why you should move like this, why you should choose to do that, why you should. It's not their responsibility. It's your responsibility to do your due diligence to make sure whatever you agree to is beneficial to you. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody offers you a 60-40 split, and in their mind, they got an idea of what they can make in a weekend. He had already, because he's documented this whole journey, I remember him being on Instagram talking about what he thought he could make. He told the lady. So she knew the projection of what could possibly be made was greater than what she was suggesting, right? So it's not his responsibility to say, "You sure you want to agree to that?" Because you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. You see what I'm saying? It's not somebody else's responsibility to educate you. As the business owner, when you come to the table with an offer, you should have already thought through whether that made sense for you or not. But what it feels like is by the time you realize it didn't make sense for you, you were already in contract. So then when it came time to show up and uphold your end of the bargain, you came lackluster, half-assed. You see what I'm saying? You didn't do all of the things that you were supposed to do, or you couldn't uphold your end of the bargain, thus the internet, the past due alcohol bill, and all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? See, transparency would have erased all of this if you would have just been honest. But the thing about transparency is when you transparent with people in life, in love, or in business, this is where the platform come in. When you give honesty to people, you can't be and dictate how they respond with that honesty. Because if she would have told him, "Hey, these bills are past due. There's notices on the front door. And to be honest with you, yeah, y'all can serve liquor, but I owe the people X amount of dollars." He might have been said, "You know what? When I'm looking at the numbers, it don't make sense anymore. So I'm out." You see what I'm saying? That's the thing about that transparency. You still owe it, but you can't control how people respond when they get it.
Facts.
Life, love, and in business, you still owe it, but you cannot control the narrative and how people respond to when they get it. But you can go ahead and bring comments.
Facts. So let's see. Now, again, best friends, I probably, because I can't scroll back up, it has stopped me. So I'm going to just go from what I see. Let's see. When you were talking before, best friend, Charlotte said, "Good points, Candy." Danielle said, "Say it." Ashley said, "That man sat there and cried from frustration. He tried to tough it out. He did." Deborah said, "Facts, preach." Sylvia said, "Being tested for sure." A lot of people were agreeing with you when you were talking. Let's see. Sandra said she was responding to another comment. She said she tried to say Darius was trying to get numbers from her. Lady, this man has 7.1 thousand people on the live when I saw it, when I originally tuned in. You think he was trying to get numbers from you?
Well, just to illustrate a point, because you and I, they'll say we biased, right? And there may be some element of truth in that. So if you knew Chantel before this collaboration, say I knew her. If you met her through Darius, say through Darius in the comments. That's very evident right there. I did not, in fairness, I did not know there was a person named Chantel. I was introduced to Chantel on social media like everybody else, or like most other people, through Darius.
Let's see. Best friends are saying through Darius. Let's see, through Darius. I'm just reading them as they come up on the screen. Through Darius. through Darius.
Yeah. So I don't know. Again, these are not paid actors. In the words of Jeremy, our friend, you know what I mean? These are not paid actors. You understand? I didn't pay these people to say that. I don't know, right?
Okay. All right. Let's see. Adrian said and had plenty of time to make sure. Oh, not okay. Hold on. Now these comments is doing that stupid thing where it. Okay, let me go back. Good. Okay, here we go. Ashley said she didn't have any money to pay them until Darius paid her allegedly. Let's see. Alyssa said also, didn't she rent the place to Darius through Sunday, but he didn't actually use it on Sunday? What's the business rules regarding this? So he did go through the contract. In a way, because I do have some notes in my thing as well, because I don't want everybody to be like, oh, y'all just like Darius, so y'all gonna take his side on everything. It was something that I said in my notes that I was like, because at the end of the day, I go with truth. So when I say something wrong, I think it was something wrong on his side too, and I get to that too, okay? But I think that per the contract, he was supposed to have access to it. But when you walk away, in so many words, you're forfeiting, okay? I didn't hear him read anything like that in the contract that I can recall. But in a way, I don't think he can take any recourse back against her and say, hey, you owe me some of my money back because I didn't use your restaurant on Sunday, because it wasn't her fault. It wasn't like she locked the doors and wouldn't let him in. He chose to walk away.
Didn't she lock the food, or there wasn't proper refrigeration and all that?
Yeah, she did put a lock on the refrigerator, but that lock was put on the refrigerator after he walked away. So it was almost retaliatory.
But there were a lot of things that were not properly functioning that were in the contract that she was obligated to provide functioning, clean equipment. We didn't see functioning and we didn't see clean.
Right. Let's see. Diane said, but she breached the contract first. She did, because she didn't have the 2 bartenders that she stated in the contract. And keep in mind, she came up with the contract, because when he played the phone call and she came to him with all these things that she didn't agree with at the last minute, he said, you know what? Draw up the contract, send it over to me. That way I have time to think about it, and then we'll go from there. So she came up with this contract and sent it to him. Now, if there was any, discussion or negotiation after the fact, after she presented him with the contract, I don't know, but she came up with this contract. So you told this man that you was going to provide 2 bartenders and the front servers and 3 line cooks and 2 dishwashers. You said that. Let's see. King Larry said Jeremy was talking way too much, and I really don't like when a male argues with females. Larry, don't you start. But in Jeremy's defense, and I'm not just saying that because he's a Sigma, he's my frat. Them people disrespected him first, because I was on that live. Them people disrespected him first. So what he's supposed to do? Just take it? And that's a whole another debate for another topic. We can have a whole live about that, about what men should do when disrespected by women and how far they can go and da 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 da. Because I don't subscribe to the narrative of a man should just take stuff just because it's a female. I don't believe in that. But we can, like I said, that can be a whole different call.
But I do think he removed himself from the situation. I don't know what more he could have did.
Let's see. Angela said they used his food and liquor, and she did him everything she promised to. Julia said, but the servers were tripping as well. Yeah, they were part of the straw that broke the camel's back on today as to why he walked away. They were part of that. Huh?
What happened with the servers?
Oh, let me get into that. Okay, so today, the reason why he decided to walk away is they kept coming to him asking, hey, because one of the servers came to him and said, hey, I need to know, like, what's going on with the gratuities. It was explained to me that, we're supposed to get the gratuities every day, yada, yada. He said, you know what, to be honest with you, I'm not responsible for that. The owner was responsible for paying all of the servers. Gratuities were supposed to be settled after the fact, yada, yada. And he had a whole conversation with this server for several minutes. And then the server was like, okay, I understand. When he gets ready to go over the modified menu to say, hey, this is what we have, this is what we're going to be able to offer to everybody that comes in today, they start up again. And the owner came to him and was like, the servers are saying they ain't gonna work today. Like, because if they don't get their gratuities, like you said that you were going to do, they're not gonna work today. He had to explain, he's like, I understand that, but that is a reconciliation process that takes hours, because I literally have to pull up my Shopify system, go order by order, verify what was in the system, verify the order slip based off of what was brought in, figure out what was for food, what was gratuity, create a spreadsheet, figure out what server this belongs to, what table it was, and all of that. He's like, that's easily a 6-hour process per day. So we're talking about 18 hours of work. He said, even if we just do Friday and Saturday, that's 12 hours of work. It's 11:37. We're supposed to open up in 23 minutes. You want me to stop and do that now? So then you might as well, today is done, because then if I'm going to be sitting in front of a computer for the next 12 hours, I ain't got time. This is done. And they just kept going and kept going. And this one server was like, but it's simple. This is part of my notes, and I'll get to the point in just a second. She was like, but it's simple. If the bill was $100 and they paid $120, then you know the $20 is for the gratuity. Like, it's simple. Like, you should be able to do that with no problem. Y'all just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And he was like, okay, I told you what the reconciliation process looks like. I told you what I have to do. So you let me know. Or matter of fact, let the owner know. Are you working today or are you not? Because if you're not working today, then we can just cancel it. And they just kept going. He was like, that's what broke the straw. He was like, I'm done. Because he was like, I've been on my feet for 14 hours, and now you upset. Now, I will say this is where I said that I'm on the side of truth. In the contract, he agreed that every night at 9 p.m., he would reconcile the gratuities, give that money to the owner so that she could then do whatever she needs to do to make sure the money was on the server's next paycheck. So if you agree to that, that's what it is. But this is where I come into play as well. If you then realized once you got into the situation that you've been on your feet for 14 hours, and what I'm not going to do is get off at 9 o'clock and then have to sit here and do this reconciliation, which could last for 6 hours, which means I'm going to be up until 3 o'clock in the morning doing this, and then you expect me to come back the next day, then you should have just communicated that and said, you know what, I know what I agreed to, but that's not reasonable. I just cannot. Not if you expect me to put my all into this situation all weekend long. I know I said one thing, but now that I'm in it, that I can't. So when I say I see fault in some areas, that's the only thing. That's one of the only things that I can really say. Okay, then you just should have communicated that, and that probably could have deaded that from day one, and you probably wouldn't have to worry about servers coming back and being like, "You said."
Mm-hmm. Do we know that he didn't? Do we know that he didn't have that conversation with Chantel?
I think it was kind of obvious based on how the live went, mm-hmm. because just based off of the interactions that I saw on all of the lives, I'm pretty sure she would have said, well, we had a conversation, or somebody would have said something to say, you know, we had a conversation that ... Or mm-hmm. he would have spoke up and said, you know what, I've already talked to the owner about this, and this is what we talked about. But the fact that didn't come out, that leads me to believe that the conversation was never had.
So the gratuity, so I'm asking, I'm not saying, right? So was the gratuity supposed to be paid to the owner in a bulk sum and then dispersed to the servers?
Yes.
Is that how that was supposed to
go? Per the contract that he read, he was supposed to reconcile every night, send that money to the owner per wire. Then she was supposed to then pay that to the servers. It actually said in the contract on their next paycheck. So unless you get paid every day, server, it really don't matter because you wasn't supposed to get the money every day anyway. You weren't supposed to get it until your next paycheck. So really what you asking for is a moot point because you wouldn't have got it no way.
Can I state the obvious? They said the ladies, what is it called? POF account or PO? What is it? They said it was negative anyway. How do you know you're really gonna get your money even once he wired it? If he wired it this minute, do you really know, as indebted as this lady is and this business is, that you really gonna get your money? I'm just saying, like, you know, a lot of people who don't truly understand business, you can get to a point where, and I don't know if that's this lady's story or not. sometimes when you have business loans, you have business credit, you got all of these different open invoices with companies and stuff. There's a credit reporting system that's different than the traditional consumer system for business owners. And there's also a whole nother set of, different ways that things work on the business side that's different than the personal side. They will garnish your all of the income coming into your payment system.
Mm-hmm.
If the right folks ain't paid.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if this lady owes taxes. They got liens and stuff on the property, on the door, and all kinds of signs and stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like, arguably, y'all, like if I'm a server and I show up and I'm working that weekend, do you really trust the fact that once this man is down and he get on the plane, this lady is going to pay you?
Mm-hmm. 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 That part. And dang, I was going to say something. Matter of fact, let me look at my notes real fast because it was a part of my notes. Hold on one second. Oh, I know what it was. So she went on for today. This speaks back to the whole mindset about the money grab, right? She continued, as far as I know, she continued and opened up the restaurant today, which means that she then used whatever payment system that she has to take all the stuff from today, right? Which that's not how it was supposed to be. All transactions were supposed to go through his POS system. So that just speaks again to the mindset of, oh, this is another money opportunity because you have walked away and I can still go on with food that has been sitting unrefrigerated with a dirty kitchen and everything else because at the end of the day, I just need the money. We don't know what these people paid today. We don't know what happened after today because, again, I wasn't on this lady live and ain't been on this lady's live. But, again, it speaks to the money grab situation. I'm sorry, y'all, this piece of hair. It speaks to that again because of the fact that you went through with it. So now you looking at it, you probably looking at it. I can't say because I can't speak for nobody. You probably looking at it like this is a whole day of revenue that I'm about to get, baby.
But then what are you going to do after that? So when you say it's a mindset thing, that's the problem with a lot of people. You can only think in the short term. You only have the capacity to think about things in a very short term time frame. So what you going to do at the end of the week? What you going to do next week, next month, next year? How you going to run your business then? You see what I'm saying? Like, when you burn bridges and you don't pay people and you're not forthcoming with whatever the status is that your business is in, with the people that you're trying to work with, where does that leave things?
Right.
Because if she's unable to pay them people, she's gonna be blaming him. I already see this coming. But let me tell you something about him. He keeps copious notes and receipts. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what I said. It's just I don't know. That's horrible. It's horrible.
Let's see.
What's the best friend saying in the comments?
That's what I'm going right now. Sandra said he did right. Tiffany said, and Jerome said in the car that he wasn't or wouldn't disrespect a woman. That's why he walked away. Melissa said, Jerome said that many people Jeremy. I look at his name and it's spelled like Jerome. It looks like Jeromey, but I got to remember it's Jeremy. Jeremy said that many people are in jail because they didn't walk away, so he chose to leave. I know that's right. Let's see. And some of the best friends were saying how Darius purchased dish detergent, bleach, and it wasn't disinfectant, it was the sanitation tabs. Because if you've been in the restaurant industry, there are sanitation tabs that you're supposed to use for the dishes. He said when he got there, and this was verified by the cooks now, this wasn't just him trying to throw shade. When they got there was no dishwashing liquid. I'm sorry. What do you mean? There was no dishwashing liquid. And then one of the other young ladies, I don't know if it was Tammy or LaQuinty, was saying that they was in the dark washing dishes in cold water. Are you trying to kill people?
Somebody, it wasn't on Darius's line. Somebody said the daughter had brought a dog up in the kitchen.
Was trying to bring a dog in the kitchen. What in the OSHA is going on here? Are you people crazy? Cannot. Let's see. Erica said he was responsible for credit card gratuity. He was, which is why he was saying, but I got to reconcile. I got to see what I'm working with. I just can't take your word for it and say the bill was 100, I got 120, so here it goes. Let's see. Denise said, and the service went to McDonald's. Yes, it was 11:18. They're supposed to start at noon. He was trying to round up everybody to say, hey, this is what we have available based off the food that we were able to salvage, and that's still good to use. 4 of the servers had left to go to McDonald's. No glasses were ready. No silverware was rolled. No prep work had been done to open a restaurant. But they were at McDonald's. But they were at McDonald's.
That's front of the house, girl. That's front of the house. I don't know nothing about the restaurant industry, so don't be like, girl, she thinks she know everything, and don't.
I do, because I've worked in multiple. I've worked in fast food restaurants. I've worked in sit-down restaurants. I do. I've not ran one or managed one, but I worked for one under good management. I know 45 minutes before the restaurant is about to open, you can't be nowhere but on your post preparing for the doors to open. Let's see. Angela said that's where he went wrong with the contract after she didn't follow the contract herself. Erica said yes, but she didn't provide the Excel sheets and they did not end at 9. He was up at 5 a.m. preparing because she didn't. There was no way for him to do it. Facts. How do you expect this man? And then to come to him and in so many words say, well, you didn't do what you were supposed to do after he has done countless things since Wednesday when he showed up. The audacity to say you were supposed to still stay after 9 p.m. and figure it out.
That lady was singing gospel songs and rocking in the aisle on on a reel on Corey's page. Corey, the bartender.
Yes.
Girl, she was up there singing. He may not come when you want him, but he'll be there around all time. I said, this lady, is she serious? He back there standing in the same spot. Girl, they are frying chicken and fish for the rapture.
Girl.
And she's dancing, rocking back and forth in the aisle, girl. Like she's auditioning for The Color Purple.
Having a funky good time. Whew, child. Let's see. Let's see. Wayne said, I was on the live from Friday until yesterday. His live, the whole entire live, but I'm not free to truly speak my mind. Yes, you are, Wayne. You know good and well. Over here, you can speak your mind as long as it's respectful. Baby, talk. Everybody else talking. We talking. Best friends talk.
You don't always have to agree with us, but we're just a platform that requires respect. We don't do the name calling. We don't, and that's kind of what set us apart from other people. There's people who disagree with us, and then they result to name calling. Okay, girl, I get it.
You got it.
You know what I mean? You got it. You see what I mean? We say how we feel. We give context about where we get it from. You know what I mean? And then that's that. So, but yeah, you can speak your mind. You don't have to agree.
Ashley said, but I do agree communication could have happened as far as, telling them, like, I know I said I was going to want to do one thing, but I ain't going to be able to do it. Let's see. Wayne said that is what Darius said. That who are they? I'm not sure who you're talking about, King Wayne. Let us know. Ashley said, but now they won't get it because he doesn't have the order sheets to do the reconciliation. Let's see. Alyssa said, what was the part about the 20% gratuities that he didn't agree with? So that part, Alyssa, was they agreed that there was not supposed to be any additional gratuities, any mandatory additional gratuities. If people wanted to do a gratuity, it should have been the customer's choice. She then decided, no, it's got to be a mandatory 20% gratuity. And he was like, you can't nickel and dime my people like that. Because if we're being honest, majority of those people that came for Darius.
Oh. We didn't know about the restaurant.
There was some people, let's be honest, there was some people that came just for her because, that was why some of the people got into it with Jeremy and stuff like that. It was like, I'm here to support my mom and da-da-da. I get it, whatever. But majority of those people was there for him. So he was like, you can't nickel and dime my people. Like, they paid a certain amount for the food. If they choose that they want to give her the gratuity, that's their choice. You can't force nobody to give no gratuity. So yeah, she was telling her service to do a 20% mandatory gratuity.
And taking cash, right?
After the contract said all transactions are supposed to go through his POS system.
Some?
All. All. Okay.
All.
Let's see. Judy said, so she was giving these people spoiled food because the 3 cooks came back and told Darius that all the food has spoiled, especially the seafood. Wow, call Department of Health. Ashley said, Ann had the nerve to say his greens are tangy. His greens are flame. Who said that his greens was tangy? The owner said that? Girl, now you gonna throw shade. Ain't that just like a child? You know how back in the day, I'm talking to the female best friends right now. You know how back in the day, like in elementary school, when a boy liked you and he would come over and say something to you and then you would say no or like put him down, then he resorted to name calling. So you mean to tell me that you didn't think that this man's food was good, but you practically begged him to come and help you? Why would you if you didn't think his food was good? Or you didn't think that he was a good cook? What's this? Sometimes when people do stuff, you just be like, what sense that make? So now we just reverting back to an elementary school mindset. Let me just talk about it then.
But let me say this. Even if they work, because I don't eat greens, so I'll never know. And I've never tasted Darius's food. You went to dining with Darius. I was home recovering.
It was fire.
But even if let's just give her the floor. Let's just say they might have been tainted. His bank account ain't.
That part. Whew. Let's see. Let's keep going, best friends. Let's see what y'all saying. Sonia said, for one thing, Chantel talks too much. Judy said the food was spoiled. What was she? So I'm gonna read exactly what it said. What was she sucking to people's spoiled food? Maybe she meant serving. Was she serving people spoiled food? I don't know. All I can say is that the cooks took the time when they got there to say, okay, let's go through. Throw out what's bad, what can be used, which is why all the lobster got thrown out. A bunch of stuff got thrown out. They was like, this is what we can use. This is what we cannot use. So that's why the menu had to be modified. So after he left, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what they decided to do. I wasn't on her live either.
Let me say this. I feel bad. There's a group of people that we haven't talked about yet, and it is very important that we acknowledge the people who were harmed the most in all of this. Mm-hmm. The people that were harmed the most in all of this are the people who showed up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The people who showed up and they had reservations, or they showed up and they traveled and they didn't get a chance to be served. Those were the people who were harmed. Yep. The people who came from out of town and who were en route today, those were the people who were harmed the most. You understand what I'm saying? And this is the part that a lot of people overlook. I feel like Darius was a champ. He acknowledged all of that yesterday. He acknowledged it today. He's been acknowledging it through the whole process. But there's a group of people online who feel like, and I don't know, you don't know, we will never know, right? But they feel like perhaps some of Darius's, I don't want to say haters, but some of the people who disagree with him and don't really, care for him or like him were kind of in her ear, pushing her to do certain things. I will hope that's not the case, right? I will hope that's not the case because I feel my little chest going down. I'm like, why am I dipping down? I will hope that's not the case because if it's a situation where that's the case, then a lot of times when you get into these back and forth spats with other people and it spills over to impacting other innocent folks, they're not considered. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to just take a moment for us to acknowledge the fact that there's a lot of people who were harmed in this, who were very innocent. And even if there's some way to possibly partially make them whole, they'll never be made whole. And that's hard.
Yeah.
That's hard. Yeah. Could you imagine flying in and you have reservations and you get there or you've been waiting and nothing? And so, to Jeremy's point, there's a lot of people sitting behind, the jail bars or prison walls, and they was right, they had a valid point. But there's also a lot of people who were harmed who had a valid point too. And they didn't have a dog in the fight. You know what I mean? And so sometimes, and I feel like that's what Darius was trying to do, was put all differences aside and still keep pushing through and lead and be a leader. And when I said what I said earlier about God blessing him and keeping his hands of protection over him, those are the traits that make me follow him. Mm-hmm. Those are the traits that make me see the bigger picture and the vision. Because it's easy to show up and put your name on something and claim and profess to be a leader, but it's all about when the rubber meets the road and when things are not going your way, can you still show up? Can you still show up? Through adversity and all of that, can you still show up? Can you still lead? He led. I seen that lady dancing. I seen that lady playing. I seen that lady sitting down on his live. I seen him sweating. I didn't see him eating. I didn't see him going to the restroom. I seen him constantly working. I don't know.
Hold on. There was a comment that I was trying to find, but I don't know if I'm able to find it. Shoot.
Are you able to summarize what it said?
I was trying to get back to it because it started off by, if the person is still here that said it, because I really want to see what you said. They said something like, this is like watching Fox News talking about the previous president that starts with a T. So I felt like it was going negatively, but I just wanted to double check it. So if you're still here, repost your comment because I definitely want to see what was said. Let's see. Some best friend Xander said that means the daughter brings the dog in there on a regular. Girl. Sherry said she saw an opportunity and took advantage of his notoriety. Daphne said, was this like Restaurant Impossible? Kinda. Yeah. Like he was trying to help her out. Like she reached out and was asking. And so he was trying to help her out. Jacqueline said, we waited 4 hours on Saturday before leaving without getting in. Oh, best friend. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
See, Jacqueline is one of those people we were just talking about. Let's see. Conteri says she didn't provide reconciliation spreadsheets. Instead, she asked if she could add 20% on Saturday. Let's see. Zandra said you eat breakfast before you come to work. When you get to work, it's time to work. Right. People going to McDonald's, girl. Daphne said, Candy, you don't have to work there to know if it's ran right. I always say it starts from the top. So she's basically saying you ain't got to be in it to know, girl.
Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree. But, girl, the people be trying to talk to me and be saying, girl, what does she know? And all of the things. So, girl, I just wanted to make it clear. Because I've never worked at a restaurant. I can't fry chicken. I don't know none of that. But there's some elements of business that I do know, and it's very obvious that no matter what Chantel may know about the kitchen or catering or whatever she claims to have been doing for 11 years, what she do not know is her number. Mm-hmm. She don't know her number. Mm-hmm. That I can see.
Let's see. Tierney said, I watched the entire live Friday. Saturday, I left 30 minutes and missed the end when the customer walked in. It was a whole mess with her from the beginning. Daphne said, what town was this? I think it was called, correct me if I'm wrong, best friends, was it called Stanford, Florida? Something like that. It was something with an S that I do know. It's in Florida something. Oh, best friend answered, Stanford. Let's see. Danielle said the people who were charged to do a back charge to their banks. Oh, they might.
So while you're going through the comments, let me add this. This is a good time for us to open it up for questions. Now, we can't answer questions for nobody else. We were not there. Usually people ask, this is usually when people ask, what do we think, or, whatever, all right? So this is the point where if you guys have questions, we'll open it up for questions. But friendly reminder, we were not there. We're just giving commentary on what we saw, just similar to how many of you saw it. Mm-hmm. So go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Erica says she wanted to add 20% to the takeout order so that one server could be on takeouts and then that person would make tips. So then if that be the case, you spiting all your other servers. Mm-hmm. So you mean to tell me you're going to find one person to do all the takeout orders, basically trying to guarantee them 20% of everything that they handle. But what about all the rest of the servers? How is that fair? And I wonder, because there were some family members there. I ain't trying to speak bad on nobody. It would be interesting if whether or not the person that she assigned to the takeout orders was a relative. Think about it, y'all. Baby, I done dealt with some grimy people. Think about it, y'all. It would not surprise me if she assigned. Huh?
Put it together, Nee.
It would not girl, it would not surprise me if you put one of your relatives on the takeout orders to guarantee them that 20% so that once the event is over, y'all can sit down and say, you give me my split, I'm going to give you yours. Come on, y'all. People got to be quicker than that.
Because we said it's a mentality. It's a mentality, especially when she shot herself in the foot and said, okay, you can just, I got one better. We don't have to do the 60-40 split. You could just rent out the restaurant and I'll take care of front of the house. You see what I'm saying? Once she really sat in the fact that since you played yourself out of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. People started looking for ways to make it up.
Let's see. I'm gonna keep going. Tierney said there was food left that was able to be used. However, he just said the greens weren't fully prepared. Got you. I'm gonna keep going because I want to try to get to any questions that you guys have, or if anything jumps out at me. They said that she's live now. I've never been to her page, best friends. Like, I don't even know.
She was live earlier. I didn't see. She had the camera when I was on there. She had the camera on her, right? But you could hear that there was noise and stuff in the background. But I was like, show the restaurant. Just because you push this button and you got 1,000 people watching live, girl, how many people are eating that food? Because that's how you're gonna get paid. Girl, I don't care if you got 1,000 people watching because we just trying to follow the bounce ball at this point. But how many people are sitting there eating off them plates that didn't have no sauce on them last week?
Facts.
Or out that kitchen that had that dog running through there.
Or the writing on the wall. Or the lint hanging out the vents and all of the things. I digress. King Wayne said he did not cook the food. The only thing he made was biscuits, and there were no recipes of his being used. So King Wayne, thank you so much for opening up and feeling like you have a space to speak, because we really want you to have a space to speak. It was true that on live we only saw him preparing the biscuits. However, what I will say And I don't think I heard anybody verbally say that they were. I believe that the cooks were using his recipes, but again, I didn't hear anything to substantiate this. But I do know that I went to Dining with Darius, and I saw some of the same foods that were served at Dining with Darius being served at this event. The fish with that sauce that he was drizzling on it, fire. And it was one of the things at Dining with Darius. The chow chow or whatever it is,
Watermelon
fire.
chow chow.
Yeah, the butter pecan cornbread. I had it at Dining with Darius. So it leads me to believe that the cooks, even though he wasn't physically cooking it, was using his recipes that he came up with, because he said that he had to get there early to train them to know what to do. So I'm not trying to dispute with you, but I'm just saying, based off of my own personal knowledge and what I saw, I do believe, if not all, but a lot of that food that he was being served was his creations. So I will say that. Some of the best friends that they heard people coming from all the way from Arizona.
Chicago, I know for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, girl, Erica says she's on live giving out her cash out.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Mm.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's horrible.
Mm. I don't know. Now, I'm still going through, best friends. Thank you guys so much for participating in the conversation. Let's see. Loretta said Darius. Huh?
That's so embarrassing.
Loretta said Darius oversees all of his food. He seasons and tastes everything before the food is served. Let's see. Oh, they were saying when I was talking about who she assigned to the takeouts, they said it was going to be her daughter. Ding, 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 ding.
And I didn't know that.
Wayne said it was him that said it was like watching Fox News talking about the previous presidents that starts with a T over here when it comes to Darius, by Candy saying it's free to speak, just be respectful. That's on anything. That's what we're talking about. Darius, our story, Carmen, Ashanti and Nelly, whoever, all the other people that we've talked about. We've always said that. It ain't got nothing to do with Darius. And that's just because
the reason why. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That just means that we demand and we require respect here for not only us but our community.
Yeah. Because, best friend, what has happened in the past is 90% of the commentary that you find on this page is about us, right? Every now and then when something is trending on social media, or it's somebody that we follow that is a part of our community, or we're a part of their community, or whatever the case may be, we'll get commentary on it just because there's what's called crossover audiences amongst all of us. We're not in the cooking space, never have been in the cooking space, but a lot of people who follow us also follow Carmen, also follow Darius, also follow a lot of other influencers. I call it the chitlin circuit, okay? So with all that being said, a lot of times we'll give commentary based on our own perspective. And as much as the internet says that it's a freedom of speech and people get to say whatever they want, you're villainized for how you feel if it's not in alignment with what other people do. So what a lot of low-level content creators sometimes do is they'll start taking digs at you, start making videos about you, name call, and do other things. We've never done that with anybody. Mm-hmm. Even if it's a situation where somebody will say something or do something that we disagree with, we will give the commentary, we'll give the facts, and then we'll state how we feel about it. We don't call anybody out their name. We don't start making fun of people's physical appearances. We don't do any of that stuff. So when we set the ground rules on our platform, we're saying this is a safe space, right? You don't have to agree. However, your disagreement shouldn't come with disrespect. Mm-hmm. It's a difference between disagreement and disrespect. And a lot of times in our community, it's cute or trendy, or people find it funny to make fun of other people. But it really shows a lack of intellect. It shows emotional immaturity, and it shows, you see what I'm saying? Like, people don't have to agree. We can have different perspectives, but it shouldn't ever be below the belt. So that's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is.
Facts.
It is
Exactly what
what
it
it
is.
is. Yeah.
Let's see. Erica said Chantel even said she would never have been able to come up with that menu. Okay, so I got caught up on the comments. I'm just going to go to my notes real fast, best friends, just to see if there's anything that we didn't touch on that I think is important. I'm just going to skim real fast. One of the things that I thought was very interesting, because that was in my notes, is that when Darius went live this morning, at whatever time it was early, because he was trying to figure out with the refrigeration thing. Guess who wasn't there? Girl, it's your restaurant.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I don't know. I'll say this. I don't know what happened with the refrigeration situation. But I found it interesting that she went live on her motorcycle ride to the restaurant. She made it a point to go live on her motorcycle ride to the restaurant. And she arrived at the restaurant and she was live. It almost feels like, and again, remember my bachelor's degree is in criminal justice, so sometimes I'll be looking at things and dissecting stuff, and I'm not saying that it's true or not, but I'm just saying, could it be possible that she knew that the refrigeration system had either been unplugged, wasn't working, was manipulated with, or whatever the case may be, and wanted to be live so that it was apparent and it was evident to everybody else that she wasn't there? You see what I'm saying? Could that have been the case? I don't know. There's no way to prove one way or the other. I'm just getting you guys to think in a different perspective, along a different line. For somebody who don't ever really go live, she says she don't do social media. You made it a point to, you're on a motorcycle. You live on a motorcycle? You filming your journey to the restaurant on the motorcycle? Because when this whole refrigeration thing came out, then you could then wash your hands and say, but I got an alibi. I wasn't even there. You see what I'm saying? I had nothing to do with the spoiled food. I had nothing to do with you losing all your food and this happening and that happening. It looks funny. Even if it ain't, it looks funny. It feels funny.
Wow.
I don't know.
Now the only other thing, I had a few more things in my notes, but I think at this point we've pretty much addressed the bulk of the important things, right? But I did have one question in my notes that I'm interested to hear from you and the best friend. So we know that she continued on, she opened up today. Do you guys think that she was wrong for moving forward and opening?
Yeah. You asked me, right?
I'm asking you and the best friends. Do you think that she was wrong for still moving forward and opening?
I say yes. That wasn't your food. So you had already been paid for your day. So it's not like you were taking a loss on revenue. You had already been paid for your day. That was not your food. And it seems like there's other more pressing issues inside of your establishment that you need to be working on and working towards versus trying to grab your next dollar. So if you didn't make any other use of the time being today, you could have been working on those things. If them cleaning supplies was left, that might be a good place to start.
So a lot of best friends are saying yes, yes, hell yeah, yes. Yes, definitely, yes. King Wayne said no, I don't. Okay, so Wayne thinks that she was not wrong. Valerie said yes. Trinice said yes, she used his food that he purchased. Wendy said yes. Um, let's see. Lori said yes. Quay said very wrong. Ashley said I think she was wrong for locking the food up and taking the alcohol, but not for opening if serving her menu. Okay. Andrea said yes, the food may have been compromised. Taisha said yes. Sabrina said that's exactly what she was going to say, that she was already paid for the day. You said out of your own mouth that over a weekend you only usually make between $8,000 to $10,000. You charged him $8,000 per day, $24,000. So yeah, you really already tripled what you usually make in a weekend. So had you not opened today, you were still up. Gwendolyn said yes, she was. Darnice said yes, she used his food and gave the wine. She gave the wine away?
Girl, people was carrying that alcohol out on her line.
Like partying?
It was the people who worked there, her people, girl. People was carrying boxes of wine out on her line.
Oh my. Well, I know what people are drinking for a Super Bowl next week. Erica said yes, she should have stayed closed and got ish together in that restaurant. Sherry said she was absolutely wrong. This was a straight money grab for her, and she did not expect for Darius to walk away. So overwhelmingly, yes. There you go. I was just wondering. It was just a question that came to my mind. I said, I wonder if the best friends would think she was wrong for opening. Because I could have seen it from both sides. I could have seen some people say yes for the reasons that you gave, and others. I could have also seen people say no. She's a business owner. Like business must go on. So I could have seen it from either way. So I was just curious to see what everybody was gonna say.
You see a lot of who people are when there's lack. If you really want to see the content of somebody's character, watch how they navigate lack. I was sharing with Sean that, we own Sincerity Johnson, the #1 affordable luxury handbag and fashion company in the world. So I was at one of our vendors out of town, and one of our top vendors is an Asian company from overseas. And I was sharing with Sean that when I walked into the warehouse to pick up this big order that we had coming in a couple of weeks ago, they're very familiar with me. So when I walk in, because we do a lot of business with them, they roll out the red carpet because we're on a first name basis. However, I noticed when other Black people walk in that are business owners, they don't get the same treatment. They're treated almost like you're a thief and you have to prove that you're here to do business versus the other way around. They got cameras everywhere. I'm talking about you can't pick nothing up without them hounding you down your back. Like it's like that with everybody else, right? So I was sharing my experience with Sean, and I was like, this really bothers me, whatever. But then you go to the back, right? You go to the back. I'm having a conversation with the owner. You go to the back, and you see this wall of all these pictures of people that they caught stealing. Well, all but like one of the 30-some people pictured was somebody Black. So then it gets you to understand the mindset of the business owner who has come over here from another country and built themselves up and picked themselves up by their own bootstraps, and how they see another demographic of people. You understand what I'm saying? And so I was explaining to Sean what it is that's how people operate in lack. You got people who are walking into this establishment. They can get inventory that they can turn around and sell that they didn't have the money probably to pay for. That's lack. How do you show up in life, in love, and in business when you have to show up and you don't have all of what you need?
Mm-hmm.
How do you show up? We watched how this lady showed up all across this country. Now y'all telling me that this lady is lying. And she got her Cash App posted. That's coming from lack. She's not going to ever be able to break out of this cycle of lack until she shed that feeling and that attachment to greed. It's a mindset that she's trapped in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're telling me that this woman has 10 kids, my concern, sis, is that you pass that mindset down to those 10 kids. Don't nobody in this world, best friends, owe you shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't learn nothing else from me, let me scream it from the mountaintops. Ain't no boat coming to save you and your business and your family. And don't nobody owe you shit.
Yeah.
Black people, we got to do better. We got to do better. Even when she fumbled the bag, there was still an opportunity to learn. There was still an opportunity to learn and to serve.
Yep. Thank you for the stars, best friend. Angelita gave 50 stars. Thank you for the stars. Thank you for the stars. Hey, thank you for the stars. Thank you for the stars. Hey, they're saying you are so right. Candy, you are so right. So true. Amen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Alyssa said, Coasting Strong says that faith without work is dead and don't nobody owe you nothing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is. It is. Y'all know over here, I be cussing and preaching in the same sentence. That's what I'm called to do.
Mm-hmm.
Cuss and preach in the same sentence. Because we like to be, we like to be spoon fed information, but sometimes you just gotta give it to us raw.
Mm-hmm.
Can't nobody rock you to sleep. It's real out here.
Yep.
I don't know. Y'all keep y'all eyes on Darius. Y'all keep y'all eyes. Y'all keep watching. Don't blink. I say pray for him. But at the end of the day, he gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna be fine. And I'm glad that he gave us an opportunity to, number one, to sit down and talk to us over a year ago and allow us to interview him. But number two, just answer our questions and pour into us.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's because of him that I asked him. I was like, this is what's going on with us, that, whatever. How do we navigate this? He was the one who told us to structure our content the way we do. Just push the button and tell your story. Don't worry about creating content. Just document the journey. He said, y'all whole life is a soap opera. You just ain't tapped into it. Just talk about what's really going on. It's a whole soap opera.
Yeah.
Here we sit. Here we sit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's a fact.
What else you got before we go?
I got nothing else. I got nothing else.
Yeah. He's definitely
But I'll let you.
going.
Huh?
I said he's definitely going places.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
He's going places. And this is another one of them storms. This is another one of them storms.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's gonna come out even stronger. All right. Well, I'll let you take us out.
Well, best friends, as we always say, the absolute best, baby, is yet to come. But, baby, we got work to do. Y'all have a good night. Love you.